All right, we're good. Okay.
We are live.
Yep. Welcome
Cool.
back, everybody. We've got a lot, or not a lot, but we got some stuff to show you, and then we're gonna do a cool little design meeting.
We got a lot of little things done
Yeah,
and a
basically.
few visual things, but most of it's bug fixes.
hmm So Ethan's game is currently in a state of disarray because he's experimenting with some stuff that we're gonna be moving into on Monday, probably. So I'm just gonna demonstrate everything that we've done by myself, and because most of it doesn't really apply in a multiplayer scenario anyway, so it's fine. Um,
Yeah.
so one of the first things that we did, or that Ethan did
Play.
rather, is that
Swoosh.
now
Swoosh.
with
Swoosh. Swoosh.
the structures,
Swoosh.
they can be upgraded. We might have shown this off on Wednesday. I'm not sure, but also on
Yeah,
Wednesday you used to
missions were
be
able
able.
to be upgraded before, but the difference
Play.
now is if you go ahead and
Play.
upgrade it, it has the max
Swoosh.
level, and before you could play your card on it to upgrade it again, but you would just lose your card, which sucked. So now it highlights it red, and if you end up playing on it, it will end up giving you that little error flash warning. And that works with other things well. I don't want
Play.
to
Swoosh.
accidentally embarrass myself,
Play.
but if you
Swoosh.
play a card off the map, like with the test dummy, I think, it should return to your hand and say,
Yep.
nope, that's not allowed. So that's super important for telegraphing things. At the very least, it'll let you know that you're doing something wrong. We might eventually like currently, if you can't pay for it, then it'll do the same thing. We might end up highlighting the cost part of the card, but currently that's not uh, a visual thing on the cards. Those are going to be updating or getting updated rather soon,
Mm-hmm.
as we're moving into a huge UI update, a huge visual update rather soon. But
Yep.
so that's why my version of the game is in a complete state of disarray. But
Yeah.
we'll get there. So yeah, currently
Um,
you have a little bit of feedback, and you can't over upgrade things.
yeah. You can
Play.
also, like you used to be able
Swoosh.
to upgrade generators. We have the Ethereum generator
Play.
here, and I'll get
Play.
another one of
Swoosh.
those in a
Swoosh.
moment
Play.
here. There it is.
Swoosh.
You can upgrade
Play.
it, and then it does the same
Swoosh.
thing. It does red, then it bounces back. Um, uh, so that's about the extent I think of what Ethan's got covered here. It's just feedback basically, and slight improvements to how these things work. Um, along with the UI update that we were talking about, we're going to be changing how these health bars and stuff look. So that'll be getting updated soon, and we'll probably have more to talk about with that on Monday. Um, as for what I managed to get done over the past few days, it's just more like small tweaks. Basically, what I ended up doing is um, I created a neutral team, which allows for
Play.
a unit to
Swoosh.
exist on the neutral team. So I spawned this guy in, and he's neutral, so he'll attack anybody who attacks him. I did this to help me with testing because I needed the ability to have units fight each other without having Ethan uh, like participate because it's easier to test this by myself. But so I managed to fix their attack animations so they'll actually attack, and the attack animations will cancel if they walk away, and it works very smoothly. And these guys will fight to the death. I'll just let them do. And you might have noticed while I had this guy selected that in the top left corner there's this little info box. This is also going to be overhauled in the UI. It's very rough right now, but I threw it together in like 20 minutes, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, you can see.
Set it up mechanically. The concept
Yeah,
is there.
the concept is there. The idea is it would display their stats. It doesn't display their damage or their attack speed yet because those are a little bit more complicated to grab because units can have multiple attacks or multiple ways of attacking, and as a result, these numbers aren't very straightforward. So we're going to come up with a system to do that a bit better. But it shows their health, their shield, and their movement speed. This guy's got a movement speed of 5. It also shows the card here. Um, a lot of this stuff is probably going to change in the way it looks, or I know it's going to change in the way it looks. So it will change in the way it
Nothing you
looks.
see on screen right now is going to look the same.
Yeah,
like
Most of the
literally
UI is
nothing
gonna get
in a
overhauled.
couple weeks.
The only thing that might look the same is the way these cards animate, but not the graphic themselves. And even
Right.
this might change. I don't know, depending on what we feel like. But I like it the way it is. So I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's just minor things that changed. Where basically we ended up spending today sort of prepping for next week because we're gonna do the big UI overhaul, and we'll talk more about that on Monday about the specifics of that as we finalize the details on it. But then that'll be next week. Hopefully, we'll knock that out, and then after that, I think we're just moving into designing stuff for the alpha, which will be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of conversation. I think the UI update that we end up giving over this next few days, especially on Monday and maybe by Wednesday, is going to have a huge impact on the way that the game looks and feels. It'll look far more put together and legit. Uh, Fortunately, the actually getting the content as far as the cards together, I think is going to take a little longer because the system that we set up works very well, but it's very experimental in concept and how it all fits together. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of moving pieces that are not fully settled as far as the process of card creation goes. So most of next week is going to be spent very behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So we might spread that out to keep some visual interest each stream
Yeah.
and still make some back end progress as well.
Another thing with the card design and like building them is that these editors that we put together kind of shit, not gonna lie. So they need to be overhauled at some point, but that's a lot of work and we're not at the point yet where that the amount of work is justifying the like would justify the convenience, I guess, factor.
Very close
Eventually,
though.
yeah, eventually I think that the convenience factor will be justifiable, but at the exact current moment, I don't think it is.
Yeah,
Um,
they're functional right now. They allow us to edit data for the most part.
yeah,
But
they're
what
just
we've been running into
buggy.
a lot is data corruption. If
Mm-hmm.
both of us edit something, then we have to go back and fix 4 or 5 different things. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of a pain in the ass. So we're going to spend some time to try and get that back in order. And once that's done, I think we had talked about designing a couple of cards every stream for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, probably.
Uh,
Like,
I think that'll be pretty fun.
the goal would be maybe hit like 10 cards per stream designed. This wouldn't be implementing them in game. More than likely, maybe eventually it'll be implementing them in game, but probably just writing out the ideas and then maybe like figuring out what do we need to do to implement this in game and sort of like writing that down, preparing to do the implementation. Um, and then eventually maybe we'll have entire streams where it's just implementing cards and it'll just be us going through the editors. I don't know. It might not be too fun, but
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects involved, so
cool.
we'll figure something out. But so far, just lots and lots and lots and lots of bugs
Yeah.
to fix, minor tweaks.
It's a good feeling
But
though, in my opinion, because it's like it means that
legit.
we're actually getting towards an end as
Yes.
opposed to a beginning. But anyway, I think we're gonna move on now to the second part of our stream today. We were going to actually do the long-awaited and previously mentioned logo and like general design for how like how the logo and how the banner, I guess would be the right term, are gonna look.
Yeah,
So like
coming up with a visual style for the game and a title and an icon slash
hmm
logo.
yeah,
Something that we
title.
can put in just a little box and then a full on title that'll be on the main menu. And then just a visual language for the way that the UI works. We might have UI packs, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think we're gonna settle on one and stick with that for a little while. And I've got a bunch of ideas up on Pinterest that I'm leaning towards. We've got a few different concepts to bring together from the lore and story of the world that we're in. So I'm very interested in exploring that and seeing how that all comes together. But I think the first place to start is with the logo. Off of the logo, the title is really easy, and then the rest of the visual style can be whatever. So
I'm showing your screen
we
right now.
sure we have three major intellectual approaches to playing in the arena with our game. We've got the spiritual, we've got which I imagine would be sort of uh religious and ancient. I picture stone and runes to represent that. We have the technological, which could easily be represented by any sort of electricity and
Metal and
metal wiring. And then we have the biological, which is solely oriented towards just chaotic genetic replication.
mm-hmm.
So combining flesh, relics, and technology into one logo, I think is what we want to do. And it makes the most sense to shape it in an A of some sort. Now, the A could be your classic TP style A. We can have a bridge sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
We may even go with a triangle because that's still readable. And then maybe we could have a couple of these things hanging off at the bottom. The triangle is interesting because you can have the recycle style visual where you have spirit, uh, tech, and flesh making up individual parts of it.
One thing about doing an A that I would be a bit cautious about is just to not make it look like Ark Survival's logo. That's all.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We could look at it
Yeah,
because that was one of the things that was coming into my mind very strongly when I
yeah,
was
because
talking
I got
about
the A with the three,
technology.
with the
And I guess
three.
these are rune-esque. I don't really understand the lore behind Ark, so I don't know what these colors and triangles mean.
I
But
don't know it either. I think all I know is like aliens abducted you and you're on like a dinosaur planet or something stupid.
that's pretty sweet. I don't know what you're talking
That's how you
about,
spend
stupid.
8 hours raising,
Trying to tame one
trying to
too
tame
hard
a
at a
stupid
time.
Bronchiosaurus just for it to die. Stupid game.
Okay, so hear me
But
out. We can go with something like this, where we have uh, a stone pillar, which is kind of fallen apart over here and has maybe crumbled
mhm,
and is being supported by some sort of,
metal thing.
yeah, some sort of hydraulic machine over here. And we can have our super cool runes. And then we can have some
Flesh.
organic matter
Yeah.
wrapped around some pillar here.
Could be like, have you ever seen Scorn?
Have
Scorn is really cool with its aesthetic. It's got the what's the artist's name? The guy who inspired the Alien movies. It's got that aesthetic.
So what are you saying? I don't know many runes, so
You just make stuff up. Just make up shapes. It doesn't have to make sense. Not in the concept art, and probably not even in the real thing. Maybe. Maybe we make it mean something. That'd be cool.
yeah, but I imagine if I had studied some sort of ancient runes, I could at least design something that was a little more familiar,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But uh,
Oh.
I mean, that still reads like an A.
We got 2 people watching apparently. They're talking in the chat.
Oh shoot, I completely forgot to open up the chat.
Vegeta23 said, Kavod Drashkashwi. I don't know what
Sorry,
you're.
pal, I don't speak your language.
Sorry, man. Yeah. And then Petro says, hi, bro. What's up, Petro?
What's going on, homie? Just living the dream.
But yeah, the runes don't have to make much sense. I'd imagine. Oh, we get 3 people. Who's Pishki? What's up, Pishki?
And I don't hate this. Whoops. We have uh, life form just completely wrapping itself around.
Yeah, as long as the like hydraulic thing is still visible, I think that that's a move.
Something like this. Maybe I should color code it so it's a little easier to read. Because stone and metal are fairly similar. I
Yeah,
think maybe the stone should be a light gray and the hydraulic system should be
brown bronze.
like a carbon fiber looking
That too.
thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine that the rock could also be a lot more worn. Obviously, in your little sketch here,
Right.
it's fine, but the actual thing, it might be a bit more worn.
Right. We have quite a bit of wearing on it, and the corners would be busted.
Mm-hmm.
It would be clear. This would not be the tightest fit here. We have a little triangle dealio going on like that. Show the corners busted. And then we probably want to leave like a little bit of rock down at the bottom, maybe. Show what's actually going on with this thing. What does a rock face look like? That looks good-ish. A little large for a logo. Yeah, I'm not super opposed to that. And I think to separate this from the stone, we'd want to have maybe a little more. Maybe these are supports that are holding up the hydraulics.
Yeah,
We
like
also need to make sure that this is something that can be determined from a distance. And
with
that's
colors, I think it would be very obvious. Like,
okay, so let's go ahead and color it.
yeah,
What color do we want
because I
for the
think there are like 3 distinct colors here, probably, maybe 4. The rocks would be a bit gray, but maybe the runes are like purple with blue. Um, the hydraulic press could be like a bronze or a carbon fiber black. Um, And then the flesh should be like red. Probably. Make it look very fleshy.
Interesting. I honestly picture a purple for flesh. Is that weird? I guess I'm picturing infected flesh.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Thanos. Maybe. I don't know. I think of red usually when I think of flesh, or I think of like uh no, I think of red, probably. Red and green.
Or sickly green.
Yeah, like a sickly green or
I know
red.
we've gone down that path before. I think it looks really weird. Well, okay, let's do.
Petro asks, can we give an opinion on your picture? I'll open that in a new window and see what's going on with it.
Do like a nice shining.
Oh my god, dude, it was a jump scare. That was loud as hell.
Sick.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, we should definitely make that part of our logo. Send that over.
Huh? I'm not sending. It was loud. Got him. Ha! Yeah, you got me.
Okay, so gross flesh, whatever. And then we're going for kind of a dark color for the metal. And I think maybe we should pick colors, single colors that these can or should be, dependent on the faction. I don't remember exactly what the faction colors are. If you wanna,
Yeah, I
if you
can
could
pull
pull
that up.
those up, that would be super useful.
Let me find our Google Drive. Solar.
Ooh, tragic! My tablet's
Are
dead.
those under PR?
I
No.
don't think
Why
so.
would they? Why the hell would they be under PR? It doesn't make sense. It is under visuals. All right, you wanted the faction colors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is my tablet
Here.
charger?
If you look at my screen, I'm gonna put them over here. Um, I'll just sift through them. This is the Druids. Um, you're not here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is, especially for stickers and for the actual icon, we're gonna want this to be a single color. There's not gonna be any variation at all. It's just gonna be flat. And I don't even know if we want colors. We should also consider whether or not we want it to be monochrome or triadic. So the question there is, do we want this thing to be very high contrast or very consistent with itself?
I feel the. I personally feel that
It's
high
weird.
contrast might be better because it gives like three distinct
Right.
sections.
So we could make this stone straight up purple. And I kind of like the
You could.
thought of that.
I would take the lavender I've got on the left there, 8C877.
I can't reach it on this. What is it?
It's
8C77.
8C87B7. Yeah, that's not bad.
Interesting.
Maybe
This is
make it
kind
a
of the color that I would picture for the flesh, which doesn't make a lot
really.
of sense. Yeah, I don't know why.
You've watched too many Avenger movies.
I think it's just alien color.
Maybe
That also looks metal to me. It looks very Covenant. I think the brown
try
was the stone that
take
we
take do this real quick for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Type this color in real quick. The color thing. A3 F5 CD.
CB, as in boy.
CD as in dog.
Gotcha.
Take that color and fill in the runes with that color,
Oh
because
yeah.
this was our highlight color in contrast to the thing.
Oh no.
I'm not clicking on any of your TikToks in the chat, by the way, not after the first one. Good luck, though.
Good luck. Damn it. I keep color picking the wrong thing. Is this it? Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Again,
It's
this needs to
hard.
read from back here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Let's look through the Pinterest, because I think it would be really nice to have a logo similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Just two colors that present all of the ideas.
That's fair.
Especially because just balancing these colors is kind of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna collapse these layers and get this out of the way. That's good old college try number one.
Wondering if we should distinctly like define a style for this race. Um, the Uvrine, like because a lot of these pictures you're showing look pretty interstellar, but they're also like stylized in a specific way.
What I'm picturing is taking a lot of concepts from ancient human religions and making them very fancy in a technological way,
Mm-hmm.
like this lotus. I also, so the technology I think comes from the glow kind of look and the very geometric lines. I like that a lot. I think the ancient religion and organic stuff covers both the purist and the druids. I also like a lot of astrological or astronomical symbols.
Yeah, the hardest faction that's gonna be like the hardest faction to incorporate is the technological faction. We were finding that with the cards too. Funny enough, it,
You think so?
we only came up with
I
like
like this
two
a
that
lot.
fit into that category yesterday.
This
Um,
one's very close to.
you know what you might like? Um, what's it called? Hyper Light Drifter? Is that what it's called?
I know of it.
Yeah, that game I feel like it's got a very runic but also technological art style, but lacking in the biological aspect that we also want.
That's fine.
But maybe that'll give some inspiration for how to blend those.
Biological isn't necessary. Let's get good goal.
That's I mean, you know what? That's fair because when we think about the story that we have come up with so far, the main two factions involved in like all of the events in the story are the technological and the druid faction. The other
Yeah.
faction kind of just is here for the game, but isn't really a big part of the bigger universe. So maybe that makes sense.
So I want religious imagery. I do not know. We could make this a sort of stone tablet or a tomb of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting. I feel like I've seen something like that before somewhere. That type
Like
of
what?
that like trapezoid tomb shape with the lines in the middle. I'm pointing at my
A
screen so you can
metronome.
see that. But a
Like,
metronome, you're right. That's actually
yeah,
exactly probably where I've seen that
it
before.
looks like a metronome. Unfortunately, I have little inspiration for where I'm going with this.
It's difficult. All right, this is gonna be a really dumb Google search, but I think I'm gonna look up stylized letter A.
No, that makes sense. I'm not familiar with this style
I'm horrible.
very much.
Yeah, 'cause you can do stuff like this if you can see my screen. Although it's not very
Okay.
biological or
Okay,
technological
I was
or
just about to
good.
say, wow, that's very, it's got the biological side.
Does
Now I
it?
just need to add the technology. Well, yeah, those organic swooshes are,
I guess, yeah.
they look like vines. They look like really massive vines. And I'm kind of into that.
This one's an elephant. Very cool. Or no, it's a watering can. Never mind. Oh, this is your hydraulic press.
Mm-hmm.
These are cool. It's a cool font, actually. I wonder if it's a font.
Yeah, it's interesting. Go back to that S. Something about that one I like.
Probably it's got all these like ropes or probably wires or whatever.
Yeah.
Makes it look a lot more
What is a
organic.
fundamental technology of the universe? The Nexus doesn't really make sense. The spawner.
Some sort of FTL. It's pretty fundamental to um, spacefaring empire.
Just make the Star Trek logo.
Um, what could be their FTL? We had talked about some FTL concepts in the past.
Yeah, we know what their FTL is.
Huh?
But I don't know how that would make sense in a logo.
No, it wouldn't, because we're not really
Like
talking about it in this game. Hmm.
I don't hate that. That's a little. I think the most important part is how it reads small. And then we can detail it as it gets bigger.
Yeah, that's fair.
We also have the other forms of A to go with. There are a lot of different forms of A. Well, there's a couple. I feel like the two on the left are the most regal. Hmm.
I like the one on the farthest left. I don't like the two on the right. I'm gonna be real with you.
No,
Just because they're
those.
lowercase, probably.
Yeah, they do look lowercase. They don't look. They don't look strong. Hmm. It also doesn't need to be an A. If we can come up with something that represents AltarGene differently, like the double helix.
Yeah. Hmm. The, what's that? Is it the Red Cross that has that? Well, I'm pretty sure their
Yeah.
logos. There is a Red Cross. What's the other one with the snakes?
Yep.
This one.
The brass snake. I think. I don't remember. It's a biblical reference, which is interesting. We could flip it upside down and have it start like this and get wider. Mm, not a huge fan of that. Human skull is a good one too to explore
Yeah.
because it covers a lot of ground conceptually. What does the lotus look like?
Only thing if we do a Lotus is that there's another space game that uses a Lotus.
The lotus is an extremely common
Yeah.
thing.
So Warframe uses a like a. I guess it's not really a Lotus, but it's kind of a Lotus. It is the Lotus actually. It's her headpiece. That's funny. Um,
Right.
but yeah. Oh, I see. With it like folding out. Interesting.
I don't know about that. I think maybe what I don't like about it is how large it was.
Mm-hmm. The.
We just leave it as this.
Interesting.
This is not what I wanted to put there. Although I think that's a little Assassin's Creed. That looks a little anarchy. Sheesh, dude.
um.
Challenge and a half.
Crap, I had an idea in my head just a moment ago. It's disappeared. It was similar to the Lotus that you drew, but I don't remember what it was. Oh. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna. I'll suggest this, but I don't think we should do this. It's just an idea. But
I like this as a base.
interesting.
What were you gonna say?
Uh, I was going to suggest. That's not what I was thinking. I was gonna suggest. What was I gonna suggest? I was gonna say, right, if we can't decide on a logo that represents all three of the factions, what if we made three individual logos that represented each faction, and then had the game dynamically pick one when the game boots up, and then also dynamically swap the icon that represents like the shortcut or whatever. I don't know. It's like a weird idea, but it'd be cool.
It's interesting.
It's.
The problem is we need something to rally behind
Mm-hmm.
as a marketing thing. That's the tough part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said that. Probably don't do this, but it'd be interesting. V.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just flipping it upside down. What else? Genetics is huge. Really, altar with an AR, which is a sacrificial altar, and genetics.
If you've got an altar with like a helix coming out of it or something, I don't know.
Well, what says genetics other than helix? I think a skull does that very well.
Could be an altar with a skull on it. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff.
I
The
mean, easy. It's just lots and lots of
it's just throwing ideas out
iteration.
and then waiting for one to stick in a
Yeah,
exceptional manner.
these kind of look like portals. We've got empty space here. I don't know if putting a skull here makes sense,
Mm-mm.
but
I might say
I don't like that. Fills the space awkwardly. I like the elegance of the emptiness.
mm-hmm. Hmm. You drawing this aesthetic being black and gold makes me think of what if we make the Ouvrine very regal in their in like their culture, other than like the three factions which seem to be broken away from standard society. Um, maybe they're very like regal race in that I don't know they're very fancy, schmancy, lots of gold
Mhm.
aesthetic,
The
which could
other look is, and I should have drawn these on a different layer, but the black on or gold on white I like as well.
mm-hmm. Because I'm imagining those pictures that you've got on
Okay.
Pinterest, and I should open the Pinterest too.
It'd be really cool if people looked at this and said, "Wow, that was clever," but they don't need to. I mean, honestly, as boring as it is, a symbol like this could easily become the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
We would just dress it to make it unique enough. I don't know.
I do really like this aesthetic though of like these flat gold lines with in this like space thing. I
Yeah.
think that might look cool on like the main menu to have
Mm-hmm.
aesthetic like that. Kind of fit it into soul cards. Oh, these are sick.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, these look really cool. There's your skull.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
like the crown
I just
too.
looked back at your screen. That's really cool. I like that.
It could be a step in the right direction. It may be overkill. And I think this out here is too much. But it's hard to know. I mean, it's not a style that I'm familiar with.
You should. Here's what you should do, right? Get get rid of those lines on the outside. I'm gonna kind of walk you through this, I guess, and you can try and do what I say, and then maybe it'll look good. I don't know. Get rid of the lines on the outside. Now take the yellow and move it uh, to an isolated area, or like a white background, I guess. Okay. Now paint a black background around it, but only slightly extending out from where the yellow is, if that makes sense.
Oh. You mean like this?
Yeah, exactly, all around it. Um,
Through it or no?
yeah, on the inside too. Um, all right, and then I have one last request after this for you to do, which
Mhm.
is to do the exact same types of designs that you were doing on the inside with like the weird lines that break apart, but have them like scatter outwards from the A, if that makes sense.
It's supposed to be a circle or a triangle?
Triangle. I have no clue if this will look any good or not, but this is just what was in my head. Yeah, maybe. Hmm. I don't know. That's just what was in my head, so I kind of had you
Mm-hmm.
do it. I don't know how I feel about it though.
The A just needs to be super bold.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what we're feeling here. Why it feels a little off. From a distance, it needs to read like a fucking A. And I think maybe, damn, wrong layer. Whatever.
Maybe you cut the inside out too, there, like the black on the inside out. Make it kind of just like an edge thing, like you're doing on the outside right now, on the inside as
What
well.
it
That could be interesting.
mm,
Interesting.
this is hard.
I think that that would look better if you removed the black line that's floating off the bottom, so it was just flat on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that that black line kind of distracts from what you're trying to do there. Yeah, try that.
What? There we go.
Huh?
This is start. I accidentally kind of tabbed off.
Oh,
It's starting to remind me of
the App State logo.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that's
work
what I was
that
thinking
he's doing
too.
for the school, which makes me very unhappy. Yeah, yeah, it's the App State logo now. I can't look at it. That sucks.
Hold on. Is it actually? Yeah, because that was the vibe I was getting to. Oh yeah, because you guys are black and gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I don't hate this look of Portaldom though, where it looks like it's heading back into the distance.
Maybe you should mix in a third color and sort of color the inside there like a blue, yeah, green or purple, to indicate like a portal. Like maybe you use,
Purple would be interesting.
yeah, you could use one of these colors.
Oh,
One thing you could do also, if you want to make it look less like the App State logo, and I'll open Paint real quick to kind of draw what I'm talking about. I probably should have done this earlier, but so you could give it this shape.
can I warp this? I believe there's a tool for it, but oh man. Subdivide. Okay.
Kind of looks like a brain on the middle.
Yeah, it does now, doesn't it?
Maybe that's why you associate purple with flesh. The brain's kind of pink purple, more pink than purple, but you get what I mean.
This is gonna look really good. Not at all what I was hoping for. That's kind of close, whatever.
That is something else.
Ruby.
Looks very wiggly.
Very groovy.
Okay, if I follow along with you, which I'm going to do, I'm going to snag that color real quick. Thank you. I'm going to steal what you're doing.
I'm partial to these two.
Which two? Those two.
Mm-hmm.
This looks. Oh my god, this looks like the Avengers logo. Fuck, we can't use an A.
Yeah,
It's been
everything's using
it's been worn to death by everything.
Yeah, but this box isn't.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think neither of these look terribly familiar, except for this one looks like a camping logo.
yeah.
This one looks like a portal, which I like. You can also extend it further.
I like it better on the second one than I do on the first one.
I agree. Hear me out though. We can have an altar of stone. Still read like an A.
Reads like a
Yeah.
rocket ship, not gonna lie. But
Yeah. We can also do something where these are darker colors, but still part of the shape.
mhm.
So in close examination, you see the details, but far away, it still looks like that. And then this becomes some sort of levitating technology holding a pillar of stone that's being wrapped by flesh.
You might need to introduce more colors to make it very evident, which might be fine. I see what you're going for.
Even more interesting, this thing could be coming out of whatever this is down at the bottom. This could be some opened relic that has unleashed an ancient beast.
Hmm. I like the thing wrapping around it. I think that adds a lot. Oh, I think I see something.
Mm.
Once you zoom out, I'll let you know if I what I would do. Zoom out a bit more so we can see it as a smaller icon. Yeah, it's pretty distinctive. So what I might do as an optional thing is if you zoom in, um,
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what it would look like iconographically. That's kind of what it looks like right now. Oops. God, what am I doing? So it's a triangle with these. It's that functionally, and I don't know if I like that. I think what I'm unhappy about is this down here. Although
That could be cool.
this I don't dislike.
So, yeah, you're kind of doing what I was going to suggest. Well, not entirely. I was going to suggest that you take get rid of the hover waves on that middle thing, and then you connect the middle thing to the right hand side. I don't know how that would look though.
Interesting.
And then make it on the left hand side so it looks like the creature's arm is in front of it, because it kind of looks like it passes behind it right now.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it looks like it's grabbing like this Triforce looking triangle. I don't know if that's any good or not, but that was just a thought I had.
That's cool. So
Oh, it's almost got a diamond shape, which is
mhm.
cool. It's like a 3/4 diamond.
Is that our logo?
Yeah. Well, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
That's our icon.
Kind of looks like an E, but I think if you zoom out, it's pretty. You're able to tell what it is.
Maybe not.
I think it looked less like an E if you shrink that middle thing a little bit more. That could work too.
We'll just continue this line. No.
Now it's definitely an E. Okay. Try
Now it is
this. When you added that triangle, it was.
in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I dig it.
I'm doing. Oh no, that's not bad. That looks like an E.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
It doesn't look quite like an E though in the other one. I think what you should do is get rid of the triangles on the left and the right, and get rid of that middle thing that you just get rid of. And then redraw the upside down trapezoid, but make it significantly smaller in width compared to the edges of the triangle. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
Now it kind of looks like a fucking what's that
Oh,
Pokemon
but,
called?
oh, I don't know.
The one with that one that looks like a triangle. He's an ice type or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, this guy. Oh, never mind. There you go. Snow runs.
Okay, but perhaps if instead of doing it that way, we did it this way.
Looks like a pedestal with a triangle floating on top of it, which maybe is probably what we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Pedestal is kind of what we're wanting.
Right. Kind of cool. It's terribly off axis, but
That can be fixed in like a proper version.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Get rid of these detaily bits. Like that. That actually looks pretty symbolic. Or do you think it's better empty?
I like it better empty just because the vibe I get from it not being empty is that of a Christmas tree for some reason.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I liked it with the tendril coming around as well,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to add that. Um,
Well, the reason I did this is because I wanted to see what it would look like without the details, you know.
hmm
Oh, of course, instead of it being this, it's actually not this at all. It's a full triangle shape with this. That kind of changes it dramatically.
Don't forget it has a line on the top right as well. Yeah, that's not horrible.
Not going for not horrible.
That's fair. I also do want to give a heads up that we're 12 minutes over our normal stream length, so
Yeah.
we can keep going. I don't care. But
I actually need to be at the theater in 1 minute.
oh.
So, whoops, I gotta go.
All right, I'll take care of the intro then. You go ahead and
um,
do what you need to do.
cool.
Save that file so we can look at it later. But
Yeah, I'll save it to the desktop. Whoopsie.
all right, well,
Over
thanks
question mark?
everybody for tuning in. Especially thank you to Petro for the jump scare. It was awesome. Um, anyway, if this is your first time tuning in, feel free to drop a follow on Twitch, or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Um, Also, if you're interested in supporting us and seeing more from this project that we're working on, go ahead and feel free to check out our Patreon link. If you're feeling generous, feel free to support us on there. We'll be posting more frequently on there starting very soon. Um, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.